So it is about 9:45 the night before a wedding, and I'm just going through all of the final details. I've done this probably a week ago, honestly, but never hurts to check and finalize everything, making sure that our stage plot is correct and looks good to go, making sure that all of our notes and schedule are put together in a way that makes sense. And then the thing that stresses me out more than anything in this world, which is the set list. The set list is one of those things where, if you come out of the gate the wrong way, you could kind of set the tone for the entire night. And then by the same token, if you come out of the gate correctly, then you're going to have a great night. And so with weddings especially, you never know what kind of crowd you're going to have. You never know kind of what the mood is going to be like until you're really there. So I kind of have a hunch that this is a little bit of a younger crowd. It's a bigger crowd. It's going to be one of the biggest weddings we've played so far. It'll be one of the biggest crowds we've played in well over a year, just because of everything with the pandemic. So I started with some music that's actually not typically how we start our show, just because I kind of have a hunch that, we might run into a little bit of a younger crowd. Sometimes when I feel like we're going to have a crowd that is, a little more blended in ages, I'll try to do something that's a little, let's try to start with some songs that I feel like will reach a lot of people. But sometimes it's kind of nice to be able to narrow that down just a little bit. So taking a gamble, and I guess we'll let you know by the end of the weekend if it paid off. Getting the last of the guitars put into the Jeep. Actually, I'm packed a little bit light this weekend. That's only because my pedal board is in the trailer from a wedding from last weekend. Has my in-ears, has my wireless system as well. I've got my laptop and binder with all of our itinerary notes ready to go. I've got all my guitars packed away. Used to only carry 2 guitars actually, because I used to break a lot of strings. But as time has gone and the band has evolved a little bit with just our sound, I noticed that I started finding ways to kind of get closer to signature tones by using different guitars. So I've got a Strat, a Les Paul, I've got a Telecaster that I use for just one song actually. I've got an acoustic guitar as well as a bass, because I play bass on a song as well. So packed up and ready to go for the morning. So it's about 10 o'clock at night, and a friend of mine just wrapped up a gig with his band and asked if I would want to grab a drink with him after the show. And of course I do. We have been so pandemicked for the last year and a half that you always say yes to that. Well, good morning. It is Saturday morning, and time for that less than glamorous side of being a musician traveling on the road for a couple days, of making sure you get the grass cut before it rains. All right, a couple more things in the checklist as we're getting ready to get on the road. First thing is to make sure I've got good brewed coffee ready to go, because you never know what the coffee situation is going to be like when you get out there. Second thing, I've been packing some fruits and vegetables to take with me on the road, just to really try to stay away from like gas station junk food. All right, so we are on I-72 headed to Jacksonville, Illinois for today's wedding. Just got done saying goodbye to Audrey and Jack and Laura back at the house. I've been doing this since my daughter, the year my daughter was born, and kind of feels like maybe she's getting to an age where she's starting to kind of feel that absence. I noticed every show that I've had this year, when I start to leave, she gets pretty emotional. So hopefully some of that can be remedied by making more intentional ways of being home, and but I don't think anything ever really fills that void. So today's Fun DMC commissioned song is David Allan Coe's "You Never Even Called Me By My Name." I was actually super excited when I heard them request that, because I grew up on a lot of that old outlaw country, and so I knew the song instantly, but I don't think most of the band did. Chad, of course, didn't know it as well. He's doing the lead vocals on it today. We debuted it to kind of do like a soft rollout at a show last weekend at the Blue Grouch, and it went over incredibly well. I knew it was going to, and so looking forward to hearing everybody sing along tonight. There's supposed to be over 300 people at this wedding. Probably the largest crowd we've played to so far this year. Largest crowd we've played to in about a year, honestly, because just everything has had such limited capacity. We are at McClellan Dining Hall in Jacksonville. As you can see, it is a very large hall. A little over 300 people will be in here celebrating tonight. This is a mess at the moment, so probably within an hour it should look like something. Everything's pretty much put together, just doing a sound check, making sure we get the room to sound right. Everybody's kind of getting instruments tuned up. As you can see, we've got a long way to go for this room to reach. So, but the thing is, we have a nice silent stage. Everybody's running direct while using in-ear monitors. It's gonna be a good show. So about to practice the David Allan Coe song. So I'll let you know how it goes. So definitely one of the best parts about being out on the road is, especially when you go to like so many different places, being able to check out some of the small town bars and grills that they have. We are at the Hangout right now in Jacksonville. Everybody say hi. We're at a nice round table. And so we are, no, please, you're fine. So yeah, we're just getting some waters, and the menu looks amazing. So we're excited to try out something from the Hangout Bar and Grill. All right, well, we are back from a late lunch, heading into McClellan Hall, where we are going to do what we do every time we arrive, which is try to find a place to change. We'll see you in a bit. So when changing, having a bathroom and a mirror is sometimes a luxury. There's only one bathroom in this building, and so I had to kind of get a little bit creative, found a stairwell, and so far I've been pretty safe. No one's come up here. Just gonna probably do a little more work with my tie since I had to tie it without a mirror, but yeah, you make do with what you can. Just up here getting a little bit of a bird's eye view of the dance floor and of the whole reception hall. As you can see, it's starting to fill up. Cocktail hour is in swing. That's something we also provide, is just making sure that there's music during the cocktail hour, music during dinner, making sure that the bride and groom, that their attendants have microphones for speeches, just things like that, all the little details. So fortunately, we have an itinerary completely mapped out for this couple, so everything so far seems to be going according to schedule. So part of the job and what we specialize in is making sure that we take a group, like the group that's walking up here, like at the wedding party, and getting them lined up and getting them assembled and getting them ready to walk in this building here for dinner. So I'm gonna walk up here in just a moment, meet these fine folks, and get everybody announced in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Quentin Hatfill. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention over here towards the kitchen area as the bride and groom are preparing to cut their wedding cake. So go ahead and now be the time to pop out your phones and grab a couple photos of that. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to go ahead and direct your attention to the dance floor for the bride and groom's first dance.
So we are through all the toasts, speeches, announcements, the first dance, the cake cutting. All of those details are the big things that need to happen at the top of it. And then once that happens, everybody settles into dinner. It seems like we get, it kind of just turns into automatic. There's a lot of nervousness and nerves right at that first moment when you're trying to get everybody announced in and just kind of herding everybody together. But so far, so good. As you can see, we've got a line heading in for dinner. So gonna grab dinner and we'll check in soon. So it's really nice and quiet out here. It's really loud inside. A lot of times there's this tension of not knowing who's going to dismiss tables, and when you have 350 people that need to get through a line, that can be a little bit of an undertaking. And I don't know what happened, but I was anticipating that the band was going to help with table dismissal, dismiss the head table, and then suddenly every table seems to be just standing and dismissing themselves. I'm not sure if they discussed this earlier, but it's very coordinated. It seems like everybody just knows what they're doing. So I just decided to step outside where it's really quiet and kind of enjoyable for a few moments before we get inside with the band. Just taking a minute to step outside to call home. It's always good to just try to check in, see how things are going. Of course, when I left today, apparently my little guy was running around, fell down, bumped his head. So I think those things never happen when I'm in town, but it always seems to happen when I'm on the road. He's fine, of course. Just, you know, one of those things toddlers tend to bump as they go.
California love. Turn it up. Let's go, girls.
All right, so we got everybody through set one. Everybody's inside jamming to Copperhead Road on the break. The band made it through, and so now it's kind of all just downhill from here. We've got set two starting off with "You Never Even Called Me by My Name" by David Allan Coe. We'll see how that goes.
She got ran over by a damn old train. And I'll hang around as long as you will let me.
All right, everybody's favorite part of the night, where the trailer is finally getting loaded. We had a fantastic show. Dance floor was packed pretty much bell to bell, and now it's just a matter of getting this trailer closed up. Well, that, my friends, is how you shut one down. We are pretty much packed up in the trailer at this point. It has been a very, very long day. We arrived here around 11 o'clock today, and it is almost midnight at this point. Everyone's cleared out, tables are being cleared off, trailer is about loaded. Time to get back on the highway. So we're rolling back into town. Highway was pretty dark, and that's all right though. It's give me some time to really reflect and think about the show, think about what works, think about what didn't work, think about some of the ways to improve it, figure out a few of the, you know, just there's always room for improvement. So that's what we work towards constantly. Overall, I think it was a very successful wedding. Bride was very happy, parents were very happy. We had the dance floor completely packed from second set on. First set, it took a little bit to get them out there. You know, it's always one of those things where there's a lot of anxiety attached to did I put this set list together right, wrong? You know, and when you're in the middle of a show and your dance floor kind of starts to clear out, you have a lot of thoughts about what just happened here. And honestly, after having done this for a while, I've kind of come to the conclusion that that's kind of a normal thing for a lot of weddings. People just you know, they want to visit, they want to step outside and have a smoke, they want to watch the sun go down, they want to go get a drink. It takes a little bit to get people to kind of commit, but once they did, boy, it was just an incredible night. A night that you know, I know as a band we always enjoy weddings, and this was one that I know that we will remember for a while. Family was very happy and complimentary at the end of the night. Had a few moments to speak with the father of the bride, and when they're happy, you always know that, you know, that's just kind of like the icing on the cake, knowing that you did a good job, knowing that you made their family have a very memorable day. It's very much like being a part of their family temporarily. So, you know, you have this very kind of intimate event that you are a guest of, and you leave feeling like you were a part of their family, and then you move on to the next one. Being in the wedding industry is a very there's a lot of feelings that go along with it. A lot of feelings. I had a lot of those feelings tonight. I always have feelings during the father-daughter dance because I have a little girl at home, and what I've been doing is actually this year, I always take a picture of them out on the dance floor, and I text it to my wife to show my daughter, and just a quick message to let her know I'm thinking about her, because those moments always make me think about her and think about just a guess. And that's what the highway is for. It's for thinking. So now I'm rolling back into town. It's about 12:45, and the streets are just pretty much crawling with musicians heading home after gigs at this point on a Saturday night. So I am no exception. I kind of over-romanticize that in a Tom Waits sort of way, but it's good to be just about home here. It was just a great day, great event overall. Everybody in the band threw a lot into this day, and everybody in the band, I think, really could feel the result, knowing that what we did, everything we put into it was worth it. So I think Quentin and Kelly had an incredible wedding reception, and we are now backing into the garage, and time for that one last unloading of the instruments, and then calling it a night. So this has been fun to document, to kind of give you some insight on exactly what a day in the life of a wedding band looks like. So it's probably time to head inside.